But this is the problem. From the moment they did the photoshopping picture, then the breakdown of trust in many people's eyes of what the royal family are putting out, and particularly if people are not so inclined, are not natural monarchists, then people are going to try and pick holes in the organization. And it is dangerous. If the royal family lose the trust of the British people, then the institution is under serious threat.
But first, though, we are going to focus on the big royal news of the last 24 hours or so. You heard in the news bulletin there that Prince William has gone on an engagement to Sheffield today. But the Princess of Wales has been captured on video with William, actually, on a shopping trip to Windsor Farm Shop. They were happily carrying their shopping to the car. That was what the video showed. Rupert Bell is Talk TV's royal correspondent. Rupert, what do you make of this? First of all, I think there are some concerns that this is footage taken by a member of the public. And in the past, the media have been very careful not to use this sort of thing because they are entitled to visit a farm shop in complete privacy if that's what they desire. Are you worried that this might have set a bit of a precedent?
It opens doors, but in fact, since the moment we saw the photoshopping picture last week, the sort of for Kensington Palace, they've had to sort of damage limitation in many ways. So to see this, I'm sure it's something that won't be encouraged, and I'm sure Kensington Palace may want to talk to the various picture editors of various newspapers to say, let's not do this too often. But I think in the current situation, to actually see her going about normally and her recuperation continuing normally, because by all accounts, they went to see their children play sport that afternoon before going home and bringing home the shopping for Saturday night dinner or takeaway, whatever was in the bag. So I suppose it is a dangerous precedent. But actually, now we're seeing even things like every photograph being analysed that's been put out there. Is it Photoshopped?
Well,
so really, the situation's got a bit out of control, as we saw on front page of one of the newspapers today. And that's the problem for them, although I understand the concerns if this is going to be a regular occurrence, because as you know, wherever they go, people will want to film them.
That's true. And I'm just looking at our text screen here, Rupert, and people are saying, come on, you two, that isn't Kate. So people are still questioning it. They don't believe this is her. What on earth do we do to stop this?
I've no idea. This is the problem. Everything is going to be analysed. The conspiracy theories of everything, and this is actually, it's not just about Kate and William. I think it's everything seems to be a conspiracy theory here everywhere, and the royal family are now subject to some pretty intense conspiracy theories, some so off the charts you can't work out what's going on. But this is the problem. From the moment they did the photoshopping picture, then the breakdown of trust in many people's eyes of what the royal family are putting out, and particularly if people are not so inclined, are not natural monarchists, then people are going to try and pick holes in the organization. And it is dangerous. If the royal family lose the trust of the British people, then the institution is under serious threat. So what's got to happen now is Kensington Palace and other royals have got to try and restore the balance, yet at the same time protecting Kate on her road to recovery. And it's great to see her enjoying a Saturday afternoon at Windsor Farm Shop, but let's hope now that indicates that her recovery is well on track for her to resume duties in April.
Right, and we've known that after Easter was the date when she was likely to return to public life. But of course, Easter is very early. It's in a couple of weeks' time. By the time we get to the middle of April, will she still not have made an appearance, or will she be out and about, or do we still not know?
We still don't know, but I think the indications are that it may be around about April the 17th. Once the children go back to school, then she can get back to normal duties and get back on the road again. That is what the theory is. So, yes, it's April. As you say, Easter is in less than 2 weeks' time. Maybe we might see her at an Easter service. The last time we saw her was, of course, at Christmas, at the Christmas Day service, and she hadn't been seen in that until the picture, well, in the car going with William, and then obviously walking out of Windsor Farm Shop. So we haven't had many pictures of her, and obviously we've seen the photoshopped photo coming out on Mother's Day, but we've seen very little of her. So I suppose we just have to take it on trust that she will be coming back in April. But that's the problem. do people trust what's going on? And judging by text messages and Twitter, there is a lot of doubting Thomases out there.
Well, you can say that again. And just very briefly, yesterday, state media channels in Russia reported the fake news that the king had died. I suppose it's not that uncommon, that kind of thing, is it?
No, but I mean, particularly from Russia, they're obviously trying to sort of disrupt things, and they're sort of saying about the photoshopping, and I think they're just trying to create a little bit of mayhem out there. But we clearly know that that is not true, because if the king had died, we'd know about it. There's no two ways about it, because it's constitutionally has to be revealed to all and sundry. So I think it's a bit of Vladimir Putin's organization doing what they sometimes do quite well, which is stir the pot.
Yeah, but you have to say it's a pot that's not that tricky to stir at the moment. Really good to talk to you. Thank you very much, Rupert. That's Rupert Bell, Talk TV royal correspondent.
There was some hysteria on X and other social media platforms this morning, wasn't there, about the fact that the Princess of Wales had been carrying heavy shopping, and therefore she couldn't possibly have had severe abdominal surgery, because you simply wouldn't be able to carry heavy bags of shopping. I think you can.
I think
if you're a good couple of weeks into your recovery.
It's 8 weeks since she had the operation, I think.
Yeah, and also it just might have been quite a small sourdough loaf and some nice artisanal cheese. It might not have been that heavy at all.
I think we should move on.
Well, I think if that video of Catherine sort of walking quite briskly with a shopping bag doesn't put an end to this frankly wild and baseless speculation, then I'm not sure what will. And I suspect that at Palace, the feeling really is that they're just simply not going to dignify this sort of wild speculation with any official comment. I think this is a young woman who married into the royal family, a commoner, became first the Duchess of Cambridge, then the Princess of Wales. She is a future queen. She has earned our respect over the years by devoting her life to service and duty. I think when you consider her life as a royal, she hasn't put a foot wrong. And I'm really not convinced that doing a bit of photoshopping and digital retouching really is a crime so severe that she sort of merits this punishment that has been meted out to her across the different social media platforms. I mean, who hasn't put up a manipulated image and used a filter or done some digital wizardry to either make yourself or your kids or whoever it might be that you're photographing look that bit better? Has felt different because we've never been used to seeing Kate have such a long leave of absence. Of course, when you think back to her pregnancies, she did take some time out of the spotlight, but we certainly didn't go for months on end without seeing her. And of course, there is a natural concern amongst the public for a member of the royal family who is always incredibly popular, very well liked, and I think very trusted. So do I think this will shatter the public's trust in her? Absolutely not.